Okay, number 2 in the important uses of rest yoga tools in our symptom management plans, and it kind of flows on from the first, which is pain management, and this is using it in our flare plans. I recommend having a written down flare plan. I remember I used to get so far in and then I'd realize I was in a flare, but I'd done nothing because I hadn't really registered it. And until I got proactive, until I made myself an if this then that pain management plan and started getting those pain plans in place and natural and just coming to me like this so that I didn't have to keep referring back to the written one down, I didn't decrease those flares. And now I have really decreased the flares and I know exactly what to do when they come. So have a pain management plan. And I guess once you get to the higher levels of that pain management plan, that's when you're in your flare plan. But flare planning is a little bit more complex than that. I like to talk about having the flare plan, of course, for how you're managing symptoms when they're really high, but also what you're doing with yourself when they're that high. So I actually recommend having a list of things you can do in order of ability so that you can keep yourself occupied and on the right track. So you can get proactive, do all of the things, like do your unmedicated pain sprays, do your stretching, use the peanut ball, have the hot bath, add in your rest tools, do your breathing practices, try a body scan meditation, do a big, good, long yoga nidra rest break. So do all of the pain plans, take your medicine, do the yoga nidra rest break. That's it. That's my whole flare plan right there. And generally now that will hit it on the head for me. But if you're in a state where your flare is kind of out of this world and it's carrying on for more than a while, so flares can last for a few hours up to a few weeks or months really. Sometimes they do last quite long, and that's when we really have to think, okay, what do we got to do? But when it's kind of going on and we've got those pain management plans in place and we're waiting for all the stuff to work, that's when those other parts of the flare plan can come in, and it's about directing our attention kind of in the right way, in a way that's going to alleviate the tension and the pressure and the sadness and the helplessness. There is no helplessness here. We have a plan, right? We've got all of our pain management mechanisms in place. We've got the plan and we know what we're doing. So in a flare, ideally, we've got the things that we're doing to keep ourselves as occupied as possible. And look, I remember flares when I was so bad. The only thing I could do was lie in bed with my eyes closed and listen to Pride and Prejudice audiobook. And I would kind of lapse in and out of consciousness. I'd be awake and asleep, and I took comfort from listening to that because it was better than just lying there waiting for it to be over. So yeah, I've been there, and I get it. And I also know that there's times when we just have no choice. Unless our body conks us out and passes us out, we've got to keep going. Maybe we have babies, maybe we have small children, whatever it is. But I've been there too. So there are literal days where I have laid there nursing a baby while doing my yoga nidra meditation. There have been days I've laid on the floor in so much pain and just put on a breathing meditation so that I could do something. And it's about those it's about those rest breaks across the day. And you put in as many as possible. And in a flare plan, that's where these rest tools come in. So you have your full stop rest breaks wherever you can get them, but you also throw in every single little rest break you can. Get yourself dipped into the parasympathetic nervous system across the day. Do those breathing practices. Practice the breathing practices and then use them when you need them. So now it's second nature to me. Like, I don't even recognize, really, I don't say, I'm going to do candle breath now. I just do it when I need it. And so quite often I'll notice that I've stopped and I'm doing candle breath. And it's really great because I can just come into my body and be like, okay, where am I holding tension and what can I do? And I'm not saying you can breathe away the pain. I'm not saying meditation or mindfulness is going to take away the pain. I'm saying it's a very useful part of our tools and it has really useful purposes. So let that be clear. But yeah, so using the rest tools in our flare plan is really important. And that's what I'm trying to make the distinction. I'm updating my rest yoga toolkit right now. And it's not just having the tools, here's the tools, but it's how to use the tools strategically. It's the same with medicine. When we give a medicine, I hope that you're able to ask your doctor, okay, how do I use this strategically? Where do I put it in the plan to me as smart as possible? Because if you're waiting to your 7 out of 10 and then throwing a little paracetamol in and hoping it helps and wondering why it doesn't, well, that's why, right? Because paracetamol is not made for that advanced pain, right? You've got paracetamols for mild pain. Then you've got to move up the ladder and you've got other things to do as well. And so it's just about using those tools as strategically as possible. And that's what I want to share in the program. But the most important thing is letting a rest. That helps. And then that rest can serve as all these tools, right? It goes in our pain management plan, flare plan, pacing, sleep, all of it. So if you want a free Yoga Nidra meditation rest break, grab it below. You just click the link and you can go and download it. But then I want you to try it, and I want you to try it several times, and I want you to come back and tell me if it helps you. All right, that's all for now. I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you again soon.